I don't know, but
No, you know what you need, Chantal? You need to get your butt out of the Middle East. You need to go back to Canada and you need to start living a life that isn't just a big scam. I mean, this is silly. You're going to be 40 years old. You're out here, I mean, following some 29-year-old thinking that he's going to love you and marry you and make a life with you and whatever. Girl, come on. He laughs at you. He makes fun of you. I mean, why do you think you're over there with him? Because you guys are living it up? I mean, yeah, you really look like you're living it up. You really look like you're happy. What you need to do is you need to go back to Canada. You need to start putting in hard work. And you need to, if a relationship is really what you want, if that's your end game in life, I know it is for some people. If that's really what you want, someone to love you, someone to call you baby, someone to give you affirmations, whatever. I mean, slow steps. I mean, whatever. Get on the dating apps, work on yourself, get back to a point where you can walk for more than a minute without getting dizzy. I mean, that would, if I were that in that place, that would be my number one priority. Not who's going to call me baby when I put my head down at night. I mean, girl, come on. I mean, you're not going to be able to heal in this environment, let alone thrive. You're talking about energy. You're sitting here telling us how you're about to fall asleep.
So you're getting help. And you want to dunk on Chantel? And that's why I think Shannon and FFG's chemistry is so beautiful, because they're so similar. FFG has to be the hero. That's why she has to always dunk on Chantel with something. Like when she did the thing with BBJ, I stand on this. She did her big one. She did her big one with that one, especially with the way Chantel was running her mouth, talking about FFG's dogs and all. When I saw her pull that off, I said, leave it to Chantel to have me applaud FFG. I was pissed. I was like, oh, this was so good. She trolled the fuck out of you. Oh my God. So, just so we're clear, and you heard it here first. What happened with BBJ, rescuing BBJ? The BBJ rescue to FFG will be with the 89 LBs are to Amber. You will always hear about it for years to come. Always. That's never going to die. She did her big one. She had to make it public. And for those saying, oh, it's for the money, I think you guys forget, I've said this before, multiple things can be right at once. She did her big one and definitely helped BBJ, because at this point, I think almost anybody's better than Chantel. But yes, of course it was for the money. If it wasn't for the money, she wouldn't have made it public. Of course it was for the money. Are you kidding? The bitch held a whole, she shopped for BBJ's collar on stream. She shopped for a cat to get a Gucci collar for a cat. Of course it was for money. But I'm not going to take away the fact that, like, at least she got BBJ. But yes, it was for money. Yes, it was for content. Are you crazy? That is her 89 LBs, bitch. She is never letting that go. That will always be content in some way.
Isms. So, French Fried Girls should be worried because Chantal was threatening to sue again. Shadowed that she might have returned to Canada to handle some other business, and she would handle that while she was there. I would be terrified if I was French Fried Girl. So terrified. This is the woman who couldn't even make a vet appointment, and she's going to coordinate a multi-person lawsuit because she felt duped about her cat being given to somebody else. By her to somebody else. But she couldn't tell you who because the selfish bitch wouldn't even walk down the stairs to go say bye. She handed it to Pete's. Again, many reasons we can't follow through with our commitments. So, and Chantal doesn't have much tolerance for distress or discomfort. If something isn't exactly the way she wants to eat it, she's not going to eat it. If it's not the right temperature, she's not going to eat it. So you would think someone as large as her would be much more picky. But, or would be much less picky. But actually, some of the more morbidly obese people I know are rather picky about their food. And, like other folks who deal with addiction, can get pretty nasty if they don't get what they want. How many people think that they've probably fought about food a couple times already? I'm sure he was fine with her coming over, but she farted out a bunch of promises initially that she was gonna, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym and lose weight, and it'll be great, and I'll be going to the beach, and we'll be travel beezing. If you're too fat for a plane, you gotta do something. because now you can't even get out of there in a hurry if you need to. There's no shame in buying 2 plane seats if you need them, but if you don't like that you need them, or that you're cutting it close to needing them, whose job is it to change the shape of Chantal's body? Yours? Mine? A pill? Some Ozempic? No, it comes down to Chantal and what she chooses to do. At this point, she's had more resources and opportunities and access to treatment over the years that most people don't give a shit how she feels, or that she probably can't handle all of her ADLs maybe on her own, because she was always such a nasty, self-centered person that her discomfort brings people pleasure. We've heard of Schadenfreude. You know, it's the same sort of thing. I don't
So we saw some boats pass by while we were hanging out by the riverside and decided after we were done hanging out by the river to see if we could find a dock and take a boat ride ourselves. On our way,
it was his hard-earned money to try to buy her food that would support her health. And then either she ordered it without him, or he came to reason of, look, I don't love you so much that $250 isn't worth risking your health to me. So if you really love me, Chantal, really, really love me, you'll go on there, eat yourself half to death, and give me the cash. So, I don't know. And she wants privacy. Okay. And where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? He's out with the boys. Thailand, from what I understand, has a very, very active sex scene. So, I'm sure he'll text you. But at any rate, this week we're going to... But she's sitting there, not a lot of people around, but it was the old eyes darting. Remember the outhouse? Or going for Burger King and then sitting in the parking lot, full face of makeup, looking all over the place to see who's looking and who's watching. She's out proud and doesn't care, but hawks like she's ashamed of what she's engaging in. So when she's sitting there with Sala eating, and there's people, you know, not a lot of people, because they go everywhere when it's closed. She's afraid of people, and they want to be able to film, and they're weird. They're weird. She likes getting attention, but standing out doesn't really... Like, I think she probably feels like people are staring, because they are staring. It's a spectacle. She's 4 times the size of a normal woman. So I think people are going to stare. That shouldn't be unexpected. Is it rude? Is it cruel? I don't know. Bottom line, it shouldn't be unexpected. And to act shocked would be kind of stupid as well. You've read about it a little bit and saw it on TikTok. Please look better after yourself. Take better care of yourself. If not you, for your husband that you told us you loved so much. How much do you love him if you're willing to eat yourself to death because it's too difficult to try to get better beyond 36 hours? If you're not a 12-stepper, but the bondage of self. She's so obsessed with meeting her own wants and needs that she, to her inadvertently, steps on people and hurts people in that way. There's another side of Chantal that is a complete sociopath and pretty much doesn't care about feelings, doesn't know how to act. That's why we had the wedding cake and candles and she erupted like she was going to shit her pants, because she doesn't know what happiness feels like, so she doesn't demonstrate what it looks like. She doesn't know love. She doesn't know any of those feelings. And so with all this spinning in her head, her marriage on the line, her citizenship being up, she goes on a diet.
One, I'm pretty, okay? That has a lot, and I don't mean that to be conceited. I'm being very matter of fact. Being pretty gets you a lot of privilege. I'm just saying, you can get away with a lot if you're pretty. Number one, I'm pretty.
Hi guys, and welcome to Tailored Talk. So this is the second part of the Casey interview with Mr Snowflake. I've got like an hour to go left of this, so let's get into this.
Lethargic. And it was like, and she's seen the medication I was on, but then suddenly she was also having anxiety and stuff like that. And I don't know when she officially got diagnosed, but it wasn't with me.
When she was with you, did she have any other disorders? Because in the Crystal episode, I don't know how many, I must have 100 examples of her saying, I was diagnosed with this when I was 13, I was diagnosed with this when I was 9. Did she have anything when she was with you?
Cellulitis.
Yeah? But that's
Cellulitis
that was it.
And cellulitis and something else that's very personal that I don't want to say because it is
Down below, basically.
it's very
Destiny would have said it.
personal, and it goes into the parts I don't want to talk about. But that and that's it. That's all I know of.
Okay. So she didn't have these 100 conditions and disorders then?
No.
I prove all that in the Crystal episode. We'll get to that.
I obviously have missed a lot out of the years I've been MIA with everything.
Yeah, well, these 4 episodes, you, Crystal, Destiny, Becky, and Wifey as well, the other one. It'll go. Yeah. That doesn't matter. Well, then,
Okay.
it'll go into everything. So as much as I can find.
It's shocking that he doesn't know about Wifey. I wonder how Casey will react when he starts seeing Wifey footage, because there's not much of her face or her body or anything.
And it'll go into everything. But Crystal one is very depressing. So there's the spoiler. It's gonna be awful. Don't watch it. It's awful.
I mean, I want to know what happened, because it's like I do want to know what happened, and like I said, my heart goes out to her. I'm so sorry. I mean, I know it's not my fault, but
But Casey, you shouldn't be the one apologizing. You know, Crystal, Destiny, Amber, Wifey, these girls have nothing to do with you. There is no way you should be, you know, apologizing on Amber's behalf. No way.
so sorry. Like, I hope people in the future will see these videos and go, oh, like maybe we shouldn't date her, or maybe she should get help. She needs help. She needs a lot of help
She's needed help for a very long time.
with whatever's going on. She needs help, or just not to date anyone, because, you know, she is just not who she says she is on the camera. No, I mean, you know, she's not who she says she is on the camera, though it slips through, and I've seen that it does slip through. She's just, I wish she would have lived a better life than this. I had hope.
And she could have done too.
I had hope that she would live a better life after everything she went through in her past. I would hope she did, but obviously it was not in the cards, I guess.
Do you still hope she turns it around and she becomes a better version of herself?
I hope she can find a way to, but the hope is a sliver.
That's fair.
I mean,
But there's always, oh, sorry. There we go. But there's always hope. You know, as long as there's like one drop of hope, there's always hope, right?
my uncle told me the worst thing you could do is give up on someone, but, you know, like I said, I have a sliver of hope.
Amber makes it hard though. She makes it so hard.
But that sliver can either be extinguished if I hear anything else of her repeating actions from the now 5 of us, I should say. The now 5 of us.
Yeah.
Or after the Crystal video, I don't know. Maybe I'll change my opinion on that. And I'm so scared about that one. I'm so scared.
It's awful. I've seen bits. I still haven't even finished it. I think after the Crystal one, I think your little sliver of hope will be gone.
Oh no.
And then it'll be gone to Destiny's. Becky's is gonna ruin all your hope, definitely. Wow.
I mean, Becky's with just the whole thing I know about her mom and the gravestone, that
Was just already enough.
that maybe I don't have any hope left. I can't lie.
Well, one of the big things with the Becky when she was going out with Becky is she would be really mean to Becky when Becky wouldn't drive her for food, when she was wanting to binge, when she was wanting to eat. Was she ever like that with you or your mum? That if she doesn't get her own way, she turns into yeah.
Mean, yeah, she was like that. Not as bad as what I'm hearing from people saying with Becky. I mean, she has now money and a car, so it's like that. Yeah, of course it's gonna be, I guess, worse because she can financially abuse people now. But no, not. She would give.
Casey called it. She is financially abusing people. Absolutely.
Matter she didn't get her own way, but she it wasn't as bad. It was more like a temper tantrum and just pouting. If it was really bad, she would like say nasty words, but not as bad as what I'm hearing lately.
When you said after a year it turned and started to get physical, grabbing your arm. Was it like, I don't know, a couple of months in between the violence?
Oh no.
So it was all.
Oh no. It was once that happened, I will say it was probably a couple weeks between, and then it was just full blown. Like I said, I would go to school, I would have like green and purple bruises on my arms where her fingers were grabbing me and stuff like that. It's hot here, so it's like I didn't hide them with the, because I rode a bike to school at sometimes when I had a bike and the tires didn't pop, but I was like, oh, it was a bike accident. But you could tell they were fingerprints. You could tell.
Yeah, he's talked about this in detail, about going to school and his friends, asking what those marks are.
It was, she would hit me, like I said in that video, like clearly my mom and Dave were not there. And, there was her dresser, the table, our bed, and she just started hitting me. I can't remember. Again, I don't remember the arguments, and I know it's probably something over something dumb, but she just started pap, 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 just like, and I'm just like, oh, what the? And then one time we got in an argument, and she stormed out, and I was like, I knew I had to go after her, and she was running away from me like a little game around the apartment complex. And my friend Nick came out, and he's like, stopped her, and he's like, what are you doing? And she was just like laughing and like, I'm gonna run away from you so you can't catch me. It's like, like she would see me and go the other way till he was like, why are you doing that? And then he like made her stay, and I was like, why are you running from me? And she never answered me.
Because she's lost her mind. That's why.
And she just like had this goofy smile on her face and just like, I'm just playing.
When all this stuff was happening, did you ever think, okay, I need to break up with her now?
All the time, I'm guessing?
There was a point where it got to, but it was a long time coming because, again, I was a child and I did not know any better. Going from 15 all the way to 18 with this person, you really don't know, like, and I hate to say it, and
imagine being like 16, going to school, riding your bike, and getting physically abused regularly as a 16-year-old kid by your first ever real girlfriend, who's living with you and is bitching about either having to go to school or go to work. I can't imagine the stress and the turmoil that Casey and his mother were going through dealing with her at this time.
Because I know how teenagers think. Of course, I was one guy. I feel like my parents. When you're 15, you don't know anything. You don't know the consequences of a lot of things that come. You are a child and you're just developing, and you should never be in a situation like that. You shouldn't. You do not know any better with certain things, especially with adult situations, which I was in. And so it took me a long time to go, she's never going to change. This needs to end. And I would just hope she wouldn't hit me. I would hope and be like, you know, what can I do? What can I say? How can I act? And it was never going to change. I had, you know, I couldn't find it, but I was gonna take it out because I still have that paper and you can still see the mark. I love to draw. I adore drawing. I love to draw. It's always been a stress relief for me. And I was working on a collage, like I was drawing different versions of Sailor Uranus, and she was across from me on the table doing homework. And she would always, okay, I'm good at history. I'm good. Math is hard, but I'm good at history. I'm good at history, language arts, whatnot. And she was struggling, and I'm like, let me help you. Let me help you with this. Let me help you with this. And she was just like, you're in high school, I'm in college. You know, it's different. You know, degrading me. I'm in high school, she's in college, so obviously I can't help. And I'm like, okay. And I just sat back down and started drawing again. Like, all right, I'm not going to, that's how you're going to be, that's how you're going to be. I started drawing. And she said something, and I retorted in some way. And I think I retorted in some way, probably, you know, saying what she said before to me, or saying something, a comment of whatever she just said to me, because I think she needed help. And I'm like, well, I think she said, you know, I need help. I'm like, well, I'm in high school, I can't help you. Because I was mad. And she gets her pencil and just rams a line through my drawing, a dark and I sat there and I looked at it, and I was in shock because my prized possessions has always been my art. I love every art thing I do, and
It'd be nice to see some of his drawings actually, and like and his fan fiction, to be honest.
Working on that piece for at least a month. And when she did that, I'm thankful the paper didn't rip, but I just stared at it. And she got up and walked to the bathroom. And I just stared at this. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, and I started carefully erasing. I was able to finish the thing, and I was carefully erasing it. But to this day, you can still see that line through it. And she just, like, she came back. And she's just like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, you know how I feel about my art. You know. And that was messed up. And
Amber, on the whole, has always been messed up. That's Amber messed up. Like Amber Lynn messed up Reed. The girl's messed up for sure.
She did the same thing with when I would role play. You know, I role played online, and she saw, you know, stories back and forth, and she saw that the story was, I didn't know she was staring at me, like over my shoulder, looking at me type. And she saw that the story was getting a little spicy, and she grabbed my phone out of my hand and chucked it against the wall, and it, psh.
What did she apologize? What did she do after that?
You know, I don't like that stuff.
Okay.
This is the same woman, the same 17-year-old girl that asked a 15-year-old for spicy pics, but she doesn't want Casey writing spicy fan fiction. Amber, are you having a laugh?
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And there was times where, you know, there was a time where I got money for Christmas. My nana would send me money for Christmas or my birthday, because my birthday...
Let me guess. Amber Lynn took that money, basically stole that money. Let me guess here. Amber.
lands literally exactly a month before Christmas in November. And I went and I was like, ooh, Black Friday, you know, because I wanted 2 video games. I had a DS and a PSP. I still have my PSP. The DS has died, and I knew the 2 games I wanted. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get these 2 games. And I was like, I have the money for it. Sweet. And I went to Best Buy. We went to Best Buy, and I got the 2 games, and I was so happy. I was like, yeah, I've been wanting to play these games. Put it on the conveyor belt. And she looks at me, and she starts getting an attitude, and I'm like, what? What's wrong? Nothing. Okay. And, you know, we're in line, and it's on the, you know, we're waiting, and she's like, and she's still mad. I said, what's wrong? She's like, well, I think it's selfish that you're getting 2 games and I'm not getting anything. But it's my birthday money. But it's my birthday. I told you I wanted to get these games. It's my birthday money. And then right when we were right there in front of the cashier, she goes, if you get both those games and you don't just get one, I'm going to be really mad at you. And he walks out. And I put one of the games back and I only got one. I got Crisis Core.
Oh.
And I walked out so defeated. And
Of course, because you don't know, with Amber, you don't know what's waiting for you. You don't know if she's going to yell in your face. You don't know if she's going to hit you in public. You just don't know.
because she wanted something with my money. But then when I called her Paige, but you said the name, it was Julia. But I call her Paige. I don't know why I call her Paige. But she sent her money after that fact, and I said, well, you know, are you going to spend some on me? Well, she said that I'm not allowed to. And I'm like, oh.
It sounds exhausting.
So I have to spend my money on
Amber is exhausting, Mr. Snowflake.
you, but when you get money,
Yeah.
you don't have to return the favor. I get it. I understand that. Okay. And I was mad. I was like, okay. And I told her, next time I get money, I'm not spending it on you. Because if this is how it's going to be, that's not right.
What was a typical day like with... She wasn't awful every day, was she? Or was she?
She, you know, she liked her Kardashians. And I ended up, like, you know, I would sometimes watch it with her. You know, play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Nice.
Take turns with that. You know, sometimes go to the store and stuff like that. No, she wasn't awful every day, but, you know, the days of her being okay and not awful were becoming too few and far in between. And it was getting tiring and exhausting, and I loved being at school and away from everything. And at one point, well, everything just bubbled up on me, and I never said this. Like, I was a senior in school, and we had the LGBT club. It was just called LGBT at the time. Don't come for me. And it was early 2000s. And I was sitting there, and I remember they had a video about how, you know, rainbow students, I'll say it that way, rainbow students have a higher chance of unaliving themselves. And I was watching this, and I had tears in my eye. Everything with my mom's boyfriend, everything with Amber, because, you know,
I wonder what was going on with the boyfriend.
when I would have anxiety, Amber's like, I'm gonna go wake up your mom and Dave, and they're gonna be mad at you if you don't quit. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to kind of just suck it up.
Wow, Amber like guilt tripping Casey because they were having panic attacks. Wow. Amber clearly has never had a real panic attack in her life. Really.
And I just remember seeing this video, and I burst, like, after like everyone left, I just cried. I cried because the night before I attempted to off myself. I was just tired of everything, and I had the plan in my head. I was like, I was gonna take a bunch of ibuprofen and another bunch of pills, and I know I probably wouldn't have done anything, but again, I was
Oh my goodness.
teenager with no thought on it. And I had a plan. I was like, okay, you know, if I take all these, I lay down and go to sleep, you know, if Amber doesn't care to find me in the morning, then my mom will find me in the morning, or someone will. And my teachers were just like, oh my God. And I was just like, okay, yeah, this is a thing. And they, you know, they had to investigate a lot of it. But at that time, you know, because I was 17 at the time, this was like probably like 3 to 4 months before me and Amber broke up. About a month before we broke up. Yeah. And I was like, my teachers were worried about me, of course, but like it just all came to a head one day, and I'm so tired. I'm tired of all this stuff around me, and I'm trapped. I am physically trapped with, I don't see any.
That's how abuse victims feel, like they can't get out. And Amber has partly made him feel that way.
The way out. And the only way out is forcing my way out. But luckily I didn't do that. Luckily I actually, luckily that video came on that day in the club meeting, because I probably wouldn't have been here. It was hard. And after, it was hard when we broke up, because she was the only first serious relationship I ever had. And I was upset and I cried. But as time went on, I was like, I'm free. I'm free. I can do me. I'm just me. I'm me again. And it felt so good.
You can do whatever you want, go with whoever you want, go out with whoever you want. Meet up with Alex, who's your best friend, without Amber going, breathing down your neck. Sorry guys, let me press play.
Just to be able to hang out with my friends, see them again, not have to worry about someone texting me to get home because she's angry that I'm with so and so and so and so and so and so. Not having to be hit, not having to be called names, not having to anything like that. And the story where she says that, she wasn't mad at me for being trans, she was. Because the way I came out to 3 people this way. I watched the movie Boys Don't Cry when I was 12. I think I said this in my coming out story. I watched the movie Boys Don't Cry when I was 12, and I was like, I could be like that. That's possible?
Okay, guys, if you don't know, Boys Don't Cry, Hilary Swank won her first Oscar for this, I think. Boys Don't Cry is the story about Brandon Tina, who was born Tina Brandon. She was born a girl, and she was transgendered, and she was born a girl, and she was going through the steps to transition to a man. So she left home and went to Nebraska, where she started living as a man called Brandon Tina instead. That's a story about a trans man. It's a very, very sad story. If you're not into violence or any of that, I don't recommend that you watch it. But it's the story about a trans man called Brandon Tina, basically a woman who transitioned to become a man. So this is what Casey is talking about. Casey was watching this as a teenage girl and was like, wow, you know what I mean? I can be something different. Okay.
Okay. And I was like, all right, okay. And I felt connected to the main character because it just resonated in me at 12. And as I got older, I started dressing in more boy clothes. And I'm like, yes, I understand this. I can be like that. And when I showed her the movie. I did this with her.
First of all, I can't believe that Casey was watching that movie at 12, because that's like an 18. Like, he shouldn't have even been watching that movie. It is crazy. A lot of violence, a lot of bad language, very disturbing scenes. That film was an 18. Case, where was your mother? Where was your mother's boyfriend? Because there's no way at 12 that he should have been watching Boys Don't Cry. No way in hell. I had trouble getting through that film, and I was in my 20s. There's no way in hell he should have been watching that film at 12. No way.
I showed them the movie first. I said, let's watch this movie. I love this movie. We watched it, and she's like, oh my God, this is really good. And I said, I am the main character. I feel what the main character feels. I don't want to be a girl. I want to be a boy. And she goes, well, I'm not going to date a boy. I like dating a girl. And I was like, okay. And she was like upset about it. And when I told her, I said, well, when I have kids, I don't want to be called mom. I don't want to be called mama. I want to be called papa. I've always wanted that. She looks at me and she goes, you'll never be a father.
That was, wow. Trust Amber to make it all about her. And 2, trust Amber to basically demean somebody as they're coming out to you.
Why, Papa? You're not a guy. You'll never be their father.
This is so cold. Amber has no soul, I swear.
It broke my heart.
Did that make you scared to come out to other people then?
No, because I mean, I have no choice now. I really don't. I have no choice now.
And he did it. He did it. He did have a child with his fiance that was his stepchild, and he did become a dad.
No, because it's not like I'm pre-T or anything like that. I'm, actually it's a
Pre-T means post testosterone. Means that he's already on testosterone. Guys, I just wanted to add that Casey can have his own kids if he wanted to. There are trans men that have gone off. Testosterone suppresses your period. So if you stop taking testosterone, his period will start again. And he can have his own biological children if he wants to. People have done it. Thomas Beatty was the first trans man to have his own child. He just, you stop testosterone, your periods stop. Casey can either get with another man and become pregnant that way, or if he doesn't want to do it, do the artificial insemination, and he can become a dad. He can have his own children. He just needs to get off the testosterone.
Now, when I do tell people, hey, I'm trans, they're just like, what? You don't look it. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. But it's like, I'm not, the first one who accepted it was my ex-fiance. We broke up under very cheating circumstances on her part. But, like I said, I was cheated on so many times. I'm not going to get into that. I've been cheated on a lot. That's what I'm going to say. A lot of my relationships ended like that. But she accepted it, and a lot of people...
Join the club, Casey. It's okay. A lot of people have been in the same position you are in, where you get cheated on a lot. It happens. It sucks, but it happens.
Going forward that I've dated accepted it. They did. Now, as to kind of touch back on, has the video affected me? Yes. And the example is one very good example is when I was dating one of my exes. It was a couple years ago, actually. She was, she delved in 4chan. She had an ex from 4chan, whatever. I don't even know if 4chan is a thing now. But she had an ex from there, and she started dating me and, told him my name. Not my last name, but my name. And I guess, they saw pictures that she posted of me, when we were having a date, whatever. And he recognized me. And I was like, oh no. Because the next day, she is pissed at me. And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. We woke up, because she spent the night, we woke up, and she just wouldn't talk to me at all and was just so mad and hateful with me. What did I do? And then she, she went home, and then later on I get a phone call about how he sent her all the Amber stuff, and she was mad at me for it. And I was like, and we were only dating a month at this time. I was like, I was going to tell you when I was comfortable we were going forward. But you should have talked to me about this instead of getting mad at me about it, because I can tell you what happened.
Some people are just so immature, like Amber.
But he used it against me and continuously did that to where that would start fights between us. Eventually, me and her broke up, but that would start fights between us because an ex decided to use that stuff against me to get her back and whatnot. And now it's like, well, there's a new fear now that an ex is just going to pull up all my stuff and use it against me to get me away from whoever I'm dating. That's nice. That's a new one. I get scared that someone is going to recognize me and send it to my job, or send it to, people I mod for, on the side, or send it anywhere. I'm terrified of that. because in these days and age, that can happen easily. And
He's right.
it's like, that's why I keep so much of everything I do private. Because if they don't know, like, exactly, you know, as I said, I work for Verizon, but I won't say like the mod stuff. Like, okay, I work for Verizon, you know, that's not, they send the video there. I doubt it's going to cause any traction. But, you know, other stuff I do would get affected by it. And that's why I keep a lot of my stuff private. I don't post a lot, as you've seen on my Instagram. I don't post a lot. I stopped on my YouTube because, well, I feel like everyone's there just for Amber drama. And I wanted to be, a YouTube gamer. I wanted to do that and do my art on there, but I can't no more because everything is Amber. You know, so
that's so true, and it's so sad that Casey can't put his passions onto YouTube because people are so obsessed with the Amber drama that he would get nothing but questions about Amber, and then nobody would care about his passions and the stuff that he really wants to put on there. It's sad. And just Amber, you know, knows how damaging this is, but she did it anyway. She did it anyway without a care in the world.
I will send out links, be like, hey, you know, support this person. Hey, support this person. You know, because with the subscribers I have, maybe I can make a difference with them supporting people because, you know, all I wanted to do was become a YouTuber and help people in life. That's all I wanted to do. You know, I've seen, you know, like what Markiplier does. You know, that's so admirable. What he does, how he helps people. There's other people who help people. You know, CDog VA, he helps people, you know, by doing these marathons and stuff on Twitch and all these other stuff. It's like, I want to do that, but unfortunately it got tainted. So it's like, if I ever do something like that, I would have to be, you know, an unknown face in the YouTube world. And it makes me sad because it failed. It not really failed, but it got destroyed before it even began. I only had a couple subscribers to begin
That is just so sad.
with, and then all of a sudden,
it's just so sad to hear that.
Then I got 2,000 after the Amber drama. You know, it makes me feel bad. My highest viewed videos on my thing is about Amber, not my other stuff. No one cares about my other stuff. No one cares if I talk or anything like that on my live streams or videos that I post, because if it's not about Amber, they don't care. And it hurts.
And that must be such a hard pill to swallow. Because nobody wants to be known for just one thing, especially with a crazy abusive ex.
You know, I've seen, you know, like what Markiplier does. You know, that's so admirable. What he does, how he helps people. There's other people who help people. You know, CDog VA, he helps people, you know, by doing these marathons and stuff on Twitch and all these other stuff. It's like, I want to do that, but unfortunately it got tainted. So it's like, if I ever do something like that, I would have to be, you know, an unknown face in the YouTube world. And it makes me sad because it failed. It not really failed, but it got destroyed before it even began. I only had a couple subscribers to begin with, and then all of a sudden I got 2,000 after the Amber drama. You know, it makes me feel bad. My highest viewed videos on my thing is about Amber, not my other stuff. No one cares about my other stuff. No one cares if I talk or anything like that on my live streams or videos that I post, because if it's not about Amber, they don't care. And it hurts me a lot, because I want to show people my dreams and stuff like that, what I want to do. I want to still become a manga artist. I still want to do anime. You know, I want to own my own business. That's why I went to business school. But it's like, can I really share all that with what's haunting me, with what that little dark cloud that's over there? You know, is someone going to try to destroy me over that? Is someone going to try to convince people not to buy, you know, my manga or shop at my business because of that? These allegations, and I do want to say, these allegations, they're not light allegations. They're
Exactly.
not something to be taken lightly.
Exactly. It's not like, oh, we had an argument in Tesco, or oh, like we were smoking and he took the cigarette out of my mouth, or he threw a pillow at me and we had a pillow fight and made a pillow fort. It's not any of that kind of stuff. Or he nicked a chip off my plate and we had a food fight. What else? You know, over Christmas we pulled a cracker and threw tinsel at each other. It's not a sweet little, coupley domestic bliss, pillow fight. These were very, very serious, violent accusations that Amber falsely accused this man of, and he's still having to deal with it. Like over a decade, like nearly a decade later, it's still haunting him. And he's an innocent man. He was an innocent kid when no, he was in his early 20s. Yeah. Yeah, so he must have been like in his early 20s when she did that, and now he's in his early 30s, and it's still following him around in one way or another.
They're not something you just throw out like she did. This happened almost 10 years ago. I was 23 when I uploaded that. I am 31 now. It's 2 years shy of 10 years since that incident, and it still haunts me. This is a lifelong repercussion of what she did, and she's not suffering for it. She doesn't care. I'm the one having to suffer for it. I'm the one who has to explain myself to whoever I date. I'm the one who has to, if someone finds a video, I'm the one who has to sit there and go through the whole mess and the whole story and the whole trauma and everything again. It's not her. And she doesn't care. And I know people have said, will you take legal action? I didn't, because at that time, I did not want to face her in a courtroom. I did not have the mental fortitude for it. I didn't.
What about now, though?
It would take an extreme case for that to happen, because I did promise myself. Like I promised myself if something happened, I would speak out more about our entire relationship like I am with you. Seeing your video, that made this possible. Now, if Amber did something to me directly towards me, that's when I would take legal action. So I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't direct anything at me, because I will be honest, I don't want to take that route. I don't want to go to court. I don't want to suffer, because the main reason why I don't want to do that is because I don't want her to use that as clout for videos. Because I would not film any of that. I wouldn't want to. But a big part of me feels like she would. She'd be filming every little...
Of course she would. Of course she would. Absolutely. He's right.
...detail that was going on. And it is a very personal thing that would be going on. But that's why, that's one of the big reasons, is I don't want her to film it for clout. It's like, no, I'm not going to feed that.
That makes sense, I get that. It's nice that you would stand up for yourself if she did direct anything towards you.
Yeah.
I don't blame
because
you.
I'm not that scared child of her anymore.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Yeah, I am not like that anymore. And
that's what she hopes Casey still is. Amber still hopes that Casey is that scared little 15, 16-year-old who will just roll over and accept everything. And Casey's not that same kid anymore.
She has one more chance. And if she tries, it's like, okay, I see what we're going to do. And yes, it is a warning, because I'm trying to, she's probably going to see this, and yes, it is a warning. Don't do it. Like, don't do it. Don't force that to happen.
Don't fuck with him. Basically, do not fuck with this man again.
Do it. No one wants that to happen. I don't want to see her face to face.
I get it.
I don't want to put my brain through all that. I don't need it. I am happy with my life right now. I am in a place where I'm happy and I'm at peace, and I have.
Good for you, Casey.
I want for naught. I need for naught. I have a job I love. I have things on the side I love. I have projects I'm doing that I love, that I get to do, that I'm lucky to be able to do. I have a full life, and I don't want a court case to put a crack in it.
I get it. I know it seems like she's gotten away with it all, but I don't think anybody would ever trade lives with Amber. She's got a miserable life. She has no friends. She has nothing. Nobody would, doesn't matter how much money she has, nobody would trade lives with her.
Well, I mean, she's morbidly obese, extremely selfish person, and the only way that she, with not many friends to speak of, wifey, the one that she really liked, dumped her, so she had to go back, according to her mother in Oklahoma, and the only way that her mother can stand to be around her is if Amber is paying for everything. So Mr. Snowflake is right. Would you swap places with Amber? Even though she's making more money than me, sure. There's just so much wrong with Amber Lynn right now.
I know it seems like she's gotten away with it, but she's got the most miserable life I've ever seen. So I don't know if that gives you comfort, but it gives me a bit. But you're nicer than me.
Well, I mean, it makes me sad that she doesn't have anyone, because no one should go through life without, at least family. She burned the bridge.
And the thing is, how long will it be before Amber burns that family bridge? She burnt it before when her grandmother kicked her out, and her mother has never really been her family have never really been in constant contact with her, because really her family have been garbage for a long time. So it's like they haven't been in constant contact.
What are you hoping comes from this chat, this interview? What are you hoping comes next?
I hope that from my...
What are your goals, Casey?
From this, others who have, her other exes or anyone else, friends maybe, that they know that it may take time, but you can break free of those chains that were put on you, and you're not alone with it. There's many of us went through the same thing, maybe not in the same degree or intensity, but we all went through it, every single one of us. And we just got to heal, and we got to just love ourselves again, learn to love ourselves again. Honestly, that's the number one thing. You have to learn to love yourself again, learn to be okay by yourself before being with anyone, and just...
Amber, listen to that. By yourself. No girlfriend, no hookup, no Instagram flirting. By yourself as a fully grown 31-year-old adult.
Take time for you. Do things that you love. Do things that you enjoy. Just take little baby steps every single day. It's not gonna get better overnight. I mean, I'm sure they all know this. I'm sure all of you know this. But it will, I promise. I really promise from the bottom of my heart. It may take months, years, whatnot, but you will find your light again.
Before we get to fan questions, is there any? By the way, I said I was talking to Casey. Is there anything you want to ask? And I said to you on Instagram, the amount of messages that were just saying, no question, I just hope he's all right. Just let him know that we're thinking of him, that we support him, that we believe him. How nice is that? That was lovely to see.
That I seen some of those, and it just it is so different from when it happened years ago. Just the support, and I couldn't be more.
Well, because now people know what Amber's really like, and they know that she's a compulsive liar. So
Thankful for all the support and all the love you all have shown. Spoil the questions, but I thank you for all the support, all of you. You know, I love all of you. I don't know all of you, but I love all of you. And I hope all of you, you know, wherever you're at, whatever time zone, whatever place on earth, you know, I hope you all have a great holiday and a safe holiday, and please be safe in this world. Because the world is crazy, but find your peace and your safety, and I hope you all do well in the coming year.
God, you're nice. You're so much nicer than me. I seem awful compared. Well, there's not that many questions now because you've answered everything. I didn't want to miss anything out, and I might have missed something out, but you've answered everything I can think of. So there's not that many because you've answered them all. You kind of. If you could say one thing to Amber's future partners, what would it be?
Don't do it.
Okay.
oh god, his face is hilarious in this.
That's fair.
Don't do it. Watch these videos. Please be careful. You know, be careful. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Please do your research on her, knowing that she's a YouTuber before you do this, because take it from the ones who have said stuff. I don't want to add another damaged X to the list. You know, you don't deserve that at all.
Goals in life? What's your big goal in life now?
To own a business,
Yeah.
Anime business.
Yeah.
He already talked about that. He's just talked about that.
That'd be good. Do you think you'd ever upload to YouTube again? About your passions, about your hobbies?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think you should.
It depends.
I think people would watch.
I would hope they would watch for that, but it's gonna take a while. Like, I'm gonna let all this ease up.
Yeah.
You know, and if I do decide to come back, you know, I will post something about it, but I don't know at the moment. I am very busy with a lot of things that I'm doing on the side, so I barely have time, even if I did.
Do you know what? You have answered all the questions already. Well done. There was nothing else. You'd answered them all. I wrote all my questions down because I didn't want to miss anything, but you've been great. Thank you.
Sorry to all those who ask hygiene questions. I'm not doing that. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm not doing that. Y'all already know. So, with my receipts, it's already came out. So, take it from there.
Are there any other receipts, emails, messages that you'd ever share with people about from both of you?
Honestly, I shared everything. I don't even have access to our old stuff anymore on my old Facebook, which, by the way, you know, whoever tried to get into it, I have security measures. I was alerted. Thanks. You know, I don't have access to any of those anymore. I don't have any messages or anything like that. Like, after that whole incident before, I completely wiped her. I do know that if you want clarifications to any of the stories, like the hot tub story, that one did not know about. And that was twice. She cheated on me twice with that. And I wish I still had my old phone because I did have messages from her on there. But I don't know where that went. That thing is like, got that when I was 14. Oh, that's almost 20 years old. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like knowing how old I actually am or how long things have been. But yeah, she admitted to that to me twice. Now I know they slept together. That was new.
Who?
But, you know, water on the bridge at this point, because what am I gonna do? There was another story I wanted to clarify, but I think I clarified them all, honestly.
I can't think of it. I think you've answered everything. Is there any way the community can support you now? Is there anything I don't know? Is there anything people can do for you?
I mean, no. I mean, just keep being you guys and being great, and, you know, following, you know, Mr. Snowflake, and just, you know, do great for yourselves, and just, you know, do great things in the world. That's all. That's all I want you all to do, is just go out and make this world better.
Okay, guys, let's wrap this up. this is coming to an end now. There's only like 4 minutes left to go, so let's wrap this up. Guys, if you've reached the end, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. This was also heartbreaking to hear, and I'm so glad that Casey is doing a lot better. And you know, I'm so glad that he had that warning for the exes, because people need to know who Amber really is. And I'm glad to see that Casey is doing a lot better than he was. Single and independent. Amber, take note. Okay, guys, I hope you had a great Christmas. Your family, your friends, your loved ones, your pets. I hope you all had a great Christmas and had a lot of turkey and a lot of partying and a lot of wine or whatever you drink. I hope you all had a good time. If you've reached the end of this video, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.